Guys, how you doing today? So it's a rainy day here in China. But like I said, I was gonna do part two, so this is part two of my, you know, video. But I told you I was gonna do part two, and I just wanted to see the Canton Fair and be able to see the entire Guanghou, right? So if you can see here, do you see? It goes down long down, and it goes down this way as well. Can you see? All these are part of the Canton Fair, including here as well. You can see different variety of segments, right? So this is more like building a whole city just for the fair. Okay, and for those of you, I've always taught you about water and city building, right? Every great city you will see, you always see water there. Okay, and why am I doing this video? I've just been thinking and thinking and thinking to myself. So you can see from this angle as well, you can see the river going right down, and then you can see there's still some more construction coming up here. Like I said, it's a rainy day, so really rainy. But why is by the way, can you hear me? If you can hear me, type I can hear you. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, type I can hear you. I want to be sure you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? What's going on? Oh, beautiful. Ah, okay. Because everybody is a bit quiet. I want to be sure you guys can hear me. Okay, beautiful. I'm happy that you can hear. So I want us to have a few conversation. Why do you guys think, and I want to hear your own view, in your opinion, why do you think Africa, is not producing, and I'm willing to hear your opinion about this. What do you think is the reason why Africa only consumes and we are not producing? Okay. And that's really the conversation I want us to have. Why is Africa only a consumption economy and not a producing economy? Why are we not creating? Why are we not producing enough? What do you think is our biggest problem? I have my theories and I'm going to be sharing them, but I also want to hear you guys' theories. I'll give you an example. How many of you are aware that Netflix came to Nigeria, literally moved to Nigeria and started investing in the Nigerian movie industry? If you're aware, type I'm aware. If you're not aware, type I'm not aware. Okay? Now, how many of you also are aware that Netflix has practically stopped sponsoring Nigerian movies like they used to? And this speaks to my number one reason why we're not producing. I think we make an attempt to produce. I think we, by ourselves, destroy that productive capacity by jealousy, by hatred, by gossips, by attacks. So the story have it that Netflix decided to work with some group of actors who also were producers. And because they were new to Nigeria, they wanted anybody else who wanted to do anything to go through them. Now, good or bad, because I'm not into that, but I'm telling you the story I heard. But guess what happened? A group of other movie actors and actresses went to start writing petition that they were not paid enough, and that this other group of people were, taking advantage, all manner. I mean, they frustrated the entire effort. And it got to a point, Netflix decided to say, you know what, we can't just keep dealing with this drama, right? We just can't continue. And pulled out from sponsor. And that's why now you don't see Netflix like they used to come, because then they could come to Nigeria and literally give as much as $2 million, $5 million for a movie to be made. And I see a similar pattern with this consumption, production economy that we've created, where Africa is largely consumption and China is, give it to China, right? I give it to them. The speed of building houses, and this Guangzhou, and China is huge. By the way, China is huge, and I took a bullet train. I was able to see the villages of China. I was able to see this type of skyscraper part of China. So I kind of understand what is going on and how China is built. But what I kept asking myself is that what is it that China has that we don't have in Africa? China is 1.4 billion in population. Africa is about that same number. So we have the population. And in fact, China's population is aging. Africa's population is younger. Young energy, young people. So why are we not producing? Why are we not leveraging our population the same way China is doing to build something? China does not have oil. It's having to still go buy oil elsewhere to power energy and other things. So the question really is, why haven't we leveraged on our population the same way China has leveraged on their population to produce? Because that's practically what China did. They leverage on their population to produce, to become a productive economy, to have massive production, just leverage on the people. And that's why when they had to shut down for COVID-19, right, it then affected the economy in a very, very bad way, because suddenly they couldn't produce the way they were supposed to produce during the COVID-19 and during the shutdown, the lockdown. And for me, the lesson is we need to renew our minds as Africans. We need to renew our minds. We have to make up our mind. What do we prioritize the most? Pulling down the other person, not being patient, being angry, calling out everybody, or do we want to extend grace? I spoke in Shanghai to a group of women, and one of the things I shared with these women was why women need to extend more grace to each other. And I shared how, as far as I'm concerned, men are not the biggest problem of women. It's fellow women that are the biggest problem of women. Have you ever seen when a man is angry with another woman, based on maybe they did business together and things didn't go the way they want? Have you noticed the tempo? Have you noticed the attitude? Have you noticed how fair the person can be? Now, when a fellow woman do business with another fellow woman and it doesn't go well, sometimes it's business, sometimes it's not even business. Sometimes they used to even be friends. Sometimes it's just out of jealousy. Sometimes it's just out of, I introduced you to this person and you're now closer to the person than me. I mean, petty. And you see how women can go so tough on each other. And I shared with the women, I said, can we begin to extend grace? Can everybody type, I will extend grace? Okay? If more women extend grace to each other, I think we'll see more prosperous women in business. We'll see more prosperous women in politics. We'll see more prosperous women in career and every other aspect. Before anybody can pull down a woman, if he's a male, he will have to partner with another woman. True or false? Okay. And so and I see that same conversation I had with these women. I see it with all of us in Africa, whether male or female, that we're not extending enough grace to each other. Before you see me really fight somebody, you will know that, go and ask anyone. I have really, really extended grace. And that's why anytime I fight, I win. Because I'm always extending grace, always giving grace, always giving grace. And I want to beg us, can we extend grace? Because if more Africans extend grace to each other, then we will go farther. I'll give you a practical example. True story. True story. I contacted a media company to do some media work for me, right? This in the US. And we signed a 3-month contract. This in the US. So I think they're charging me $5,000 every month. And it's on an auto debit. So every month they're charging me $5,000. Can I tell you right now that this is the 3rd month and I've been charged $5,000 for 3 months. And this company is here to make one single post. Right? It's a media company that's supposed to be posting videos on my social media. They've come to do one recording with me, but they've not made one single post on my social media. Right? None of the videos are out. Even when I see one of the videos edited, he wasn't just good. I'm going somewhere with this conversation. Now, because it is in America, okay, first of all, calling them out will not work like we do on, Nigerians think that calling people out does some magic. It doesn't. Calling them out won't do anything. But I want to ask everybody a question. I want you to answer me. If he was in Africa, and I've not done anything, I've not even sent them a mail. If these people were an African company, will anybody extend them grace like it's being done now? Now, by the way, this is me naturally, right? Like I said, I always extend grace. I'm always patient. But I want you all to answer me. How many Africans can pay $5,000 every month to a media company that end up doing nothing and will still be this calm? Okay? Are we learning here? So, is this making sense at all? I'm saying, if this were to be another African company, based in Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, right? You are paying them equivalent of $5,000 for 3 months and they have done nothing. Are you going to extend them grace? Come on, everybody type. I want an answer here. Okay? Will you do that, or will you extend grace? Will you be patient? Will you be waiting for them to deliver on what they promise? I want a yes or no answer. Now, I want to assure you, I don't know what, I'm waiting for your answer, that 90% of you here will not. Okay? But I have another question for you. Thank you, Fortune Boye says no. And I agree. Right? 90% of you watching me, no. You're not gonna be patient. And every month they're charging you $5,000 and they have done nothing. You will not be patient. Now let me ask you the same question in the reverse. If it was an American company, and I want those of you who have lived in America. I don't want those of you who haven't lived in America, so you may not understand how America works. If you live in America and this same thing happened to you, or you don't even live in America, but you are working with an American company, is there any one of you that would do anything outside than just send them a mail to protest? Will you do anything outside of maybe send a mail to protest? I want an answer. Okay? Will you do anything outside of sending a mail to protest that, oh, you've been charging me every month for 3 months and I've not gotten any value? Will you do anything outside of just sending a mail to complain? Yes or no? Again, 90% of you will do nothing more than maybe you send a mail, nothing. Now, mind you, I have signed a contract. What does that mean? They have the right to keep debiting me, okay, for the next 3 months. Okay, and I mentioned this. I said, when people scam you in developed part of the world, it's with signature, right? It's a contract, right? And they will debit you. So, do you see the difference here? And so, as somebody, and I say it to people, I say, until I started doing business globally, I didn't really understand. I too I'm just critical of other Nigerian companies, other African companies, until I started doing business internationally. I then realized that there's really nothing wrong with entrepreneurs in Africa. We just don't extend grace to each other. That's all. That's all. That's all. I'm in Canton Fair. Do you know that many Nigerians will come here just like everybody else? Okay? And then look for manufacturers to buy things from and pay the manufacturer. Everybody hear this? And the earliest you will get your goods is another 1 to 3 months before your goods is shipped from China to Nigeria. Now hear this. Are you aware that many have paid money to manufacturers in China and got nothing? They lost their money. Okay? Are you aware? So when it comes to not getting value for money, it's a global issue. It's a global issue. It's a global issue. But for whatever reason, we Africans have always decided not to extend grace when it happened to your fellow African. Right? And we have picked up a culture, right, of just being hard on each other, mess each other's reputation up, bring down the next party. It's almost as if there's some joy we derive in telling a negative tale about your fellow African. It's like there's some joy, there's something that just makes you feel good. And I just keep saying, we need to stop it. I don't know if you agree with me that we need to stop it. Some of the most credible entrepreneurs I've done business with in my life are Africans. Have I lost money to fellow Africans? Yes. The same way I've lost money to Chinese, to white Caucasians, to Indians, to Pakistanis. Same thing. I've seen good Nigerians, I've seen bad Nigerians. I've seen good Indians, I've seen bad Indians. I've seen good Chinese, I've seen bad Chinese. I've seen good Caucasian, white American, white British. I've seen bad white British. And my message to us today that if you want to build this, right, if you like what you're seeing here, like I said, Canton Fair is behind me. All these things you're seeing behind me, Canton Fair is big, huge. Like, you can get dizzy. All this below underground, there are exhibition going on in this hotel, next hotel, exhibition everywhere, right? Okay? We can do this. Africa can do this. Africa can begin to produce. Africa can manufacture, right? What is missing is what? Come on, somebody talk to me. What's missing? Extend grace to each other. Extend grace. Just extend grace. That's all. Extend grace to each other. Right? Support each other. Just, encourage each other. And that's why some of you who have called me names, you don't like my face, you don't like that some people are having challenges in their business, and I've come to stand for them, to speak for them. That's all I'm saying. Extend grace. Extend grace. When I hear somebody is having problem in their business, all I do is reach out to them. How can I help? How can I support you? What can I do in my own part? I may not have money to give you. I may have encouragement. I may be able to help you talk to some of your investors to give you some time. Okay? I may give you some ideas that I've used that has worked for me. But I'm not going to pull down another African. Okay? What's my gain in it? What's my gain in it? Okay, what do I benefit from doing that? What? I have only told the world not to trust fellow Africans. And that's not in my interest. So I've learned over the years that economies like this, like China, like India, like Wales, have only come this far, like Dubai, because they regulate what goes out. You can't just put out anything negative about China on social media. You don't even have access to Google. You don't have access to YouTube, a lot of these platforms. So you can't just push out anything, right? You can't push out negative in Dubai. I hope you know. You can't just record something bad. You can go to jail for it. And they take that seriously. You can't even call out somebody in Dubai. Are you aware? By the way, are you aware? If you know, type I know. If you don't know, type I don't know. Let me say that again. You cannot call out anybody in Dubai, whether government, whether individual, whether you can't just make a post now of another person living in Dubai. You live in Dubai. I almost went to jail for doing that. Even though the person, the transaction involved was over $1 million. But I almost went to jail in Dubai. And I didn't even say anything wrong. I just said, I no longer do business with this person. I put his picture out. It's against the law in Dubai. Okay? It's against the law. So, and you can go to jail for it. So you see their economy grow. You see more people trust them. You see more people do business with them because they regulate the negatives that go out. Right? They regulate the negative. So you end up seeing more positive about those countries. You see more positive about their business. You see more positive about their nation. And it makes more people to come to their country, more people to invest in their country, because you are only going to see the good side. You're only going to see the positive. But when there's anything negative in Africa, we're the ones to beat the drum. We're the ones to tell the whole world everything is bad. Nigeria, jaga jaga. Africa, jaga jaga. Okay? That is the reason why we're not making progress. Extend grace. Can everybody type it? I will extend grace. And I want us to pick it up as a culture. Extend grace. Me and you can be doing the same business. Yes. Fortune Boye says, I saw you reach out to a real estate counterpart, right? The other day. Yeah. Me and you can be doing the same real estate business. I don't need to pull you down for my own real estate to do well. Let's show some love. And I want us to practice it. Can anybody promise me they're going to do that today? Reach out to the entrepreneur. Extend grace. Help them the little way you can. Say something good about somebody else in business. okay, that is not your own. Amazing stuff China is doing. Really impressed with what's going on in China. And my encouragement is we can do the same. Somebody is saying that he's in Guangzhou and wants to reach out to me. So send me a DM. Right? Send me a DM if you're in Guangzhou and you want to reach out. Please send a DM. And let's see if we can still meet. Unfortunately, I'm leaving tomorrow. But let's see. If we can still connect, that would be good. That would be good. That would be good. If we can still connect, that would be good. But you can chat me up and we'll see, okay? Chat me up. Once again, thank you for watching. I just hope, for those of you just joining us, you can go watch this all over again. And I hope you will be encouraged. It's just a conversation about lessons from Canton Fair, lessons from China. And it's for all of us in Africa. And I hope we'll pick some lessons from it. And, hope some things will turn around, okay? I love you all. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful time ahead. Bye-bye.